okay now.
Luta is another quality product from Ovid and marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited.
With Luta, malaria is in big trouble.
Now I'm putting you in an incredibly difficult position.
Tourism was so alien. People thought we were crazy.
The world has always recognized the creative genius of Nigerians. But what has it meant to you personally?
Game-changing discussions on the big ideas that shape our thinking.
We've been very focused on trying to accomplish something that is typically not done.
You have to be deliberate. That's the point I'm making. But it appears that things have gotten worse. So what happened? How did we get here?
Let people think. Let people be bold. And the country can change.
This is One to One.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the ADC presidential candidate is doubling down on his plan, if elected as president, to reverse or reinstate fuel subsidy. And the NFIU says it has uncovered how terrorists get funded. We'll be getting you more insight into that plan and their strategy. A warm welcome to you wherever you may be watching. Welcome to the program. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight on Politics Today, live on Channel Television. I'm here for you in our Abuja studio. Let's begin by letting you know that the former Vice President and the ADC presidential candidate, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, is doubling down on his previous statement he made on the plans to reinstate subsidy on petrol. Today, in a press statement released by his media office, Mr. Atiku is saying that the argument is being framed around the wrong choice, and the ADC presidential candidate is pushing back against suggestion that he intends to simply restore the old petrol subsidy regime, insisting instead that his proposal is a targeted, temporary, and tightly controlled intervention aimed at domestic refining and production. He says his plan, according to his campaign, would be capped, transparently budgeted, and independently audited, with government support withdrawn only when measurable conditions, stronger local refining, stable supply, and greater competition are being achieved. In his own words, Atiku says, "You do not remove the scaffolding until the building can stand on its own." But beyond the language of subsidy or intervention lies a much bigger political and economic question. Can government bring down the cost of energy without returning Nigeria to the expensive distortions of the past? Mr. Atiku argues that the Tinubu administration transferred the shock of his reform directly to Nigerian households, pushing up transportation, production, and living costs. His alternative, he says, is to reduce those underlying costs while rebuilding domestic supply and ultimately restoring purchasing power. Mr. Atiku went further to say, quote, "The choice is not between the removal of subsidy and the restoration of subsidy. The choice is between an expensive Nigeria and an affordable Nigeria." End of quote. So much to discuss tonight on the program, so stick around with me. But first, let me serve you with some of your political roundup stories.
The National Addressing Council has ratified the preliminary framework for Nigeria's vision to build a digitized and modern addressing system for the country. At the meeting chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima in Abuja, with key members and stakeholders in the public and private sector in attendance, the Vice President made clear the need to build a system that will ensure that no part of Nigeria is left out.
When a verified identity can be linked securely to a verified address, the gains extend across financial inclusion, credit, social interventions, logistics, planning, public safety, and emergency response.
Youths in Kwara State have commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for approving the creation of the Nigerian Army 9 Division in the state to tackle insecurity in parts of the state. The rally, which took off from Challenge area to Post Office area, was attended by women and youth armed with placards with inscriptions. The youth described the new installation as a major steps towards strengthening security in Kwara and neighboring states. The group, under the aegis of Coalition of Kwara Youth Organizations and Arua Youth Assembly, declared their position at the joint rally in Ilorin. Lastly, former governor of Zamfara State and Minister of State for Defense Bello Matawale is promising to work with other party stakeholders in northern Nigeria to mobilize at least 20 million votes from the region and ensure the re-election of President Bola Tinubu and his running mate Kashim Shettima in 2027. Mr. Matawale, who stated this at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, notes that the APC is on the path of sustainable economic and infrastructure development, needing the support of all Nigerians. According to him, President Tinubu remained politically strong in the northwest and continued to enjoy the confidence of many residents of the region due to the administration's efforts in addressing insecurity and driving development.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program tonight. Well, let's begin by letting you know that the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Tunji Ediso, is warning that jungle justice is not best for our country. The #1 police officer in the land is worried at the state of mob attack once there is a sense of criminal activity that is going on. The Inspector General is warning that taking laws into citizens' hands is not the best way in curbing crime in the country. Take a listen to what the IG has to say about jungle justice and mob attacks.
Let me state clearly, without ambiguity, jungle justice is murder. It is not justice. It is a crime, and the Nigerian police force will treat it as such. No citizen, no community, no group has the right to try, sentence, or execute another person. Nobody. Sections 33, 34, and 36 of the 1999 Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended guarantees every Nigerian, even a suspect, the right to life, dignity, and fair hearing. No mob action. Mob action violates the victim's right to life, to dignity, and fair hearing. The law presumes everybody innocent until proven guilty.
That's the IG of police. There are more security concerns. Today, the president is asking and has ordered the military, the police, and the DSS and other security and intelligence agencies into an immediate coordinated rescue operation with service chief director to provide regular updates until the abducted victims in Niger State have now been accounted for. And just as that, we get a report from the NFIU indicating the report by the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit indicating that suspected financiers of terror in Nigeria exploit accounts opened in women's names, disconnected SIM identities, coded transaction narrations, crowdfunding campaigns, remittance applications, and networks of money moves to raise, conceal, and move funds. The finding is raising a critical question for Nigeria's security architecture. If authorities can see how the money moves, how effectively are they following it to dismantle the networks and identify the people ultimately financing terror? Let me speak tonight with someone who understands the mindset of some of these terrorists based on his research. He's done an extensive work in the area of extreme violence, not only in Nigeria, and on some part of sub-Saharan Africa. Dr. Bulama Bukati is a scholar, a lawyer, and his life joining us as a security expert equally. He's joining us virtually tonight on the program. Thanks so much, Dr. Bulama, for joining us tonight on the program.
Thank you, Sean, as always.
What really got me worried is over the years, and you will hear during the Buhari regime, the government of the day, and you hear Lai Mohammed, the minister, saying they know the terrorists, and they will name names, but we never got names of those who are behind the funding and the financing of terror in Nigeria. And just when I got the story and saw the report by the NFI, you saying they are using all of these means, unsuspecting Nigerians may just be funding or be behind funding of terror in Nigeria, and they are not aware. And now the government says they can follow the trail and follow the money. But before you get into getting us a sense of what this means and how dangerous this pattern could be for an average citizen, jungle justice is what the IG is warning about. And it does look like we've seen this happen a lot of the time. Any tire that you see on the street is now a tool for jungle justice. How dangerous is this scenario?
It is very dangerous, Sean. Jungle justice is not justice. It is injustice, and it is cruel, and it only sends a country into anarchy. Because the law is very clear that anyone accused of any crime, however heinous that crime might sound, is entitled by law to fair hearing and to be tried by a court of competent jurisdiction following all the processes and procedures laid down by law. And this is not just the provision of the law, Sean. Any one of us, you and I, or any of our listeners who is accused of any crime would want to have their day in court. They would want to be heard. And that courtesy, that right we want for ourselves should be extended to everyone. And I think the Inspector General of Police's call comes at the right time. Jungle justice is unfortunately becoming more and more commonplace in Nigeria. People are accused of crimes, from stealing to blasphemy to other kinds of crimes, and they are immediately mob lynched and killed or harmed in ways that are horrible. And we have to be clear that under Nigeria's law, anyone who engages in jungle justice is a murderer, and what they are doing is injustice, and they are not helping their community. And in many of these cases shown, we later found out that people who were accused and mob lynched were actually innocent. And therefore, people should be very careful that they shouldn't just jump on the bandwagon of people accusing others of nasty crimes, however nasty those crimes might sound, and start committing or unleashing injustice on others. And Sean, another thing we should remember is that many people who are engaged in jungle justice say they are doing that because they are frustrated with our law enforcement agencies' inability or failure or neglect to discharge their duties. In some communities, you would hear people say, we caught this person red-handed, we reported him to the police or handed him back over to the police. The police took him to a court, and after a week or two, we saw him treading our streets. We saw him moving freely. And the girl who was raped is still in the community suffering from what she suffered from. So this doesn't, the first point is this, the failure by governments or security and law enforcement agencies doesn't justify jungle justice. However, the police and other security and law enforcement agencies must understand that the best way to stop people from jungle justice is for them to actually expeditiously and transparently investigate reports of crimes and make sure that the criminals are punished. And I think our judges and the judicial system should understand that the only thing holding them together is public confidence. And the more they delay justice, the more they allow corruption and nepotism and other isms hamper our cause of justice, the more they are pushing people to jungle justice.
All right. Let me take you up on the matter relating to the report of the NFIU. How worrisome do you think this report should make an average citizen be because of the long list of the patterns and the avenues that terrorists now use in getting financed?
Yeah, Sean, let's take a step back and start from the good news. If you remember, in February of 2023, towards the end of the Buhari administration, Nigeria was added into the list of the Financial Task Force grey list. And by adding Nigeria to that list, what the Financial Task Force meant was that Nigeria's money laundering and anti-terrorism financing frameworks are weak and that changes needed to be made. And Nigeria made those changes. By June last year, Nigeria was removed from the grey list, which shows that the Financial Task Force agrees that Nigeria's changes to its money laundering and terrorist financing frameworks worked and that those weaknesses that were observed in 2023 have been cured. Now, when these kinds of measures are taken, the Financial Task Force measures, Action Task Force are taken, Financial Action Task Force measures are taken, what happens is that the banking system tightens its regulation for financial transactions. And then what happens is this cat and mouse dynamic of terrorist groups and other criminal organizations evolving new methods or new tactics or new ways of doing things in order to evade the new rules that were implemented. Now, that's the first point to note. The second point to note is that this report from the NFIU is very interesting because it lays out new dynamics, even though the tactics are not new, but it lays out new dynamics on how terrorist groups get finance in Nigeria. And the most interesting dynamics to me are, number one, the question of internationalization and digitalization. The report showed that social media is now being used, online sources are being used by terrorist groups in Nigeria to raise funds internationally. And therefore, it is not just a question of Nigerians in Nigeria possibly funding terrorism unwittingly, but it is also a question of Nigerians in diaspora possibly funding terrorism unknowingly or inadvertently. And how does that happen? There are 4 steps that were laid out in the NFIU report. Number one, they said there is an internationally based or foreign-based person who is in charge of soliciting funds for terrorist financing in Nigeria. And he would usually put out appeals for educational or humanitarian purpose online, use social media like Telegram and Signal to advertise the link, calling on people to donate small amount of money, $50 to $500 for educational or humanitarian purposes. Number two, when those money, the second step is that when the appeal is listened to by people and they donate money, it gathers in one master account. And once it reaches a certain threshold, when it becomes much, now he would fracture the money into smaller pieces of amount and send it to Nigeria using platforms like Western Union, like World Remit, to send it to different people because they want to evade anti-money laundering alerts. Because if you send a large amount of money at one time, that will raise alerts. So they will send smaller amounts of money to different people, and those people are then directed to withdraw the money. That's the fourth step, in order to buy usable things that can be used in the bush, like motorcycles, like petrol, like internet data, and then now they would send it to terrorist groups. You can see how sophisticated this method is. And they are doing all of this in order to evade Nigeria's tightening financial regulations from 2023 to date, which made Nigeria to be removed from the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force. And there are many lessons shown to be learned from that. Number one, I would just list like 4 to 5 of them because I know you will have another question. Number one is for us well-meaning Nigerians at home and abroad to be careful what causes we donate money to. And this is not a call for us to stop supporting humanitarian or educational appeals. It is a call for us to do our know your customer well. Know the person you are donating to. Make sure you trust them before you donate money to them. Number two, Nigerian authorities need to do more to link our bank verification numbers to SIM cards, because the report shows how dead people's accounts are being used to raise this money or to send this money to Nigeria. It also shows how women accounts are controlled by men who use it for terrorist financing. So we need to strengthen our bank verification number SIM card links. Number three, the NFIU needs to work better with the Nigerian Telecommunication Commission, which should be regulating telecommunication companies to make sure only SIMs that are validly and properly registered are used for bank verification, because the report shows that there are numbers that were pre-registered before they were even bought, and they are used for these kinds of illegal activities. And then number four, the report shows that there is not enough prosecution on the part of Nigerian authorities when reports were made of financial crimes. And I think our government, the police, our ministries of justice need to do more to make sure that those reports are acted upon, they are investigated, and those who might be found guilty are prosecuted and punished.
All right. Now, what worries me is unsuspecting Nigerians. It's a case of someone traveling and a cousin says, let me carry this bag of gari or fufu or flour, and someone embeds cocaine or drugs, hard drugs and concealed it in what they are giving you to help them transport. And you get to the airport and you are the one arrested. It's a case of how this terror now operates from the reading of the report of the NFIU. That's one dangerous angle that I see there. And you've mentioned how Nigerians should now be more careful about who they send money to, how they send their money, and there is a very likelihood that people can be picked up for terror-related offenses. Is that right?
Yes, Sheun, we need to be very careful what we pick up from who. Number one, we have to trust the source. In some cases, you just go to a motor garage, you go to an airport, and someone comes to you saying they need help. Unknowingly, you collect things that may not be legal. In some cases, it may not be drugs, but it may be huge amounts of dollars planted inside a Ghana must go bag, which then has Gary inside. And you are now financing terrorism or becoming a messenger, a courier, a belly for terrorist organizations. In some cases, shown dangerously, it is even airport officials. We saw that in the airport in Kano in particular, where you had unscrupulous airline company workers or airport officials putting luggage in the name of passengers who didn't have luggage. So I went to for example, I went to the airport, I boarded a plane, I didn't have any checked-in luggage. Now they will take your seat number and just check in luggage on your behalf, only for you to land where you landed and to be arrested. And I did a case similar to this some years ago in Saudi Arabia for a lady, an unmarried lady in her early 20s who was arrested in Saudi Arabia and was even sentenced to death. But God helped us. We did the case and she got rescued before she was executed by the Saudi authorities, because that was planted. So Nigerians need to be careful. If someone says, carry this for me, trust them first and dig out and make sure you know what you are carrying before you carry them. And also make sure that no one uses your name to tag or build anything to any place unless you trust those people, that person, and you know what actually they are sending in your name. But otherwise, you may get arrested and you may get investigated for something that you may not know anything about, and sometimes you may not have a good defense because they got it in your name, or you were carrying the drugs or whatever that was in your possession, and that becomes a big problem for you.
Now, for the Nigerian state, how close are we in being able to stem the tide or the activities of this terror group? If the NFIU says we can see the money, we can follow the money, we can see the trail of how they are being funded, and if you see the scenario as being explained by the state, by the security authorities, especially when the DSS is trying to give us an understanding of how that Oyo abduction and rescue happened, how they in fact went after the families of these terrorists, and they used that as a bait to get to the roots and to the location of these terrorists where they were keeping the Orire abduction victims. Now, what is the good side of this now with what NFIU says they're doing? How close are we? If through some of these means we are now able to detect, what more should we be expecting?
Yeah, so the first thing shown is that the only way to defeat terrorism is to follow the money. And therefore, the NFIU report is a very vital piece of information that we can use to track terrorism financing and make sure we take down the financing network. But we also know that the DSS, the Office of the National Security Advisor, and other intelligence agencies have been doing very good work on this. We know that recently a Nigerian Bureau de Change owner and his companies were listed in the United States for terrorism financing. And we know that there have been certain prosecutions recently regarding terrorism financing, even in Nigeria, and some accounts being taken down. But we need to do more. Whether it is kidnapping for ransom, whether it is Boko Haram's terrorism, whether it is bandit terrorism, whether it is the Eastern Security Network, no terrorism or no terrorist organization can operate without funds. And so once you take the funds out of the equation, they would be incapable of operating. Secondly, and very importantly, and this is related to one of the stories you might ask me questions on, which is the Niger kidnapping, once we stop paying ransom to terrorist organization, once we take the money out of kidnapping, we take the profit out of it, I can tell you that sector will die a natural death. And therefore, the best way to stop kidnap for ransom in Nigeria is to take the money out of kidnap for ransom. But what this NFIU report tells us is that although the Nigerian government has done a lot since 2023 when it was added to the grey list, until 2025 last year in June when it was removed from the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force, even though we have done a lot, we still need to do more, especially in the form of taking down the networks. And Sean, right now, what we are seeing in other jurisdictions, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is already happening in Nigeria, and if it is not happening, it will start happening soon, is the use of cryptocurrency for terrorism financing. Some of these terrorist organizations, like the groups I am working on in East Africa, the Islamic State Central Africa Province, when they gather the money outside Congo, Uganda, they don't send it in cash. They don't send it in naira through the in cash through the means we saw the NFIU report highlights. What they do is send it through cryptocurrencies, and that makes it even more difficult. So we need to do more, and the only way we can stop what is happening in Nigeria sustainably is to take the money out of it, whether in stopping ransom payment, in making sure that external money doesn't come into Nigeria. And showing the final point we need to remember is that this international digitalized way of financing terrorism is still a small portion of actual terrorism financing in Nigeria. The actual money is still coming from within Nigeria, and we need to do more to stop that if we were to succeed in taking down these groups.
All right, quickly, so that we can wrap up this conversation. And I'm worried. I'm worried about, for those who know, the Kanji, Bogu, Benin border, and it's becoming a Sahel problem, isn't it? If you look at the terrorist activities and their movement. But one thing that, when the president has said that we must now get, the security agencies must get an account for these, the abducted persons. There are disputes about the numbers of the people that have been taken, as much as that saddens one's heart. one thing that bothers my mind is the broad day audacity of these terrorists and how they operate in some of these communities, and how dangerously vulnerable these Bogu, Kainji, Benin border has now become, and is becoming a very terrible Sahel problem on our hands. But the big question here is that what immediate thing must this government do? Because it's now becoming more embarrassing, isn't it? If this is happening, there are more efforts being made, but this porosity of this border, Trump will say he wants to build fence. Should Nigeria be considering a more sophisticated way in mounting surveillance, and so that we are not reactive? We need to be proactive. And when these people are taking these people, and I know I come from a state that borders some of these places. It's a vast land. Niger State is one of the largest in terms of land space. The same thing with Borno State. Large expanse of land. How do we deal with this problem? It's becoming an embarrassment, isn't it?
Sean, is more than an embarrassment. It becoming a national security threat, and the survival of Nigeria depends on how well Nigeria does in tackling these groups. And I am telling you this because we have seen in other countries where you see terrorist organizations and terrorist groups more powerful than governments, or who have completely made governments impotent to tackle them. Nigeria is not there, and the Nigerian government is doing a lot to tackle these groups, but we need to do more to make sure that this situation doesn't escalate to situations we see in other countries. Now, that's the first point I will make. The second point I will make is that our borders are very porous, like you said. And the fear we have been expressing over the past 5 to 7 years was that if we got a land corridor through which terrorist organizations can move freely from Nigeria to the Sahel, then we'll be in a very serious problem, more than even what the situation was 5 years ago or so. And as it is right now, there are threats of 2 separate land corridors to the Sahel into Nigeria. One is through the northwest, where we are now seeing groups operating in the Sahel establishing cells in the northwest, in Sokoto State, in Zamfara State, in parts of Katsina, groups like the Lakurawa, groups like the Islamic State Sahara Province, groups like the Janim, Jamaatul Nusratul Islam wal Muslimin, which killed the Malian defense minister and took over parts of Mali recently. They are establishing cells, and now there is a growing land corridor in the northwest to the Sahel. And now you have another corridor from the north central to the Sahel through the Benin border. And that is very dangerous. The Nigerian government needs to do more. And what I want to see shown is a security pact, a multinational joint task force between Nigeria, Niger, and Benin, just like we saw in the Lake Chad region, that succeeded in dismantling Boko Haram.
All right.
And we need to see that. Sorry, Sean, the last point I would make is an appeal. On my last appearance on this show, I made an appeal for the Musa students and the Musa people and the Lassa students who were abducted in Borno State. The Musa people who were abducted on 25 May 20 this year, Sheun, have spent over 100 years in the bush, and 45 of them are still in the captivity of the terrorist organizations that took them. While the Lassa students, Sheun, remember there are 36 students writing their NECO and one of their teachers abducted on 29 June 2026. They are still in captivity. I am calling on the federal government to renew its efforts, step up its efforts to rescue these children, to rescue these people. Their parents and relatives are in a very terrible situation. They were protesting last week against the continued detention or captivity of their relatives. I call on the federal government to use the Oyo style to rescue these children and these people that were abducted, as well as those who were abducted in Niger State.
Dr. Bulama Abukati, lawyer, scholar, security consultant, thank you so much indeed for your time as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. From the security crisis, I will be taking you to a political crisis in Ogun State. Will Governor Dapo Abiodun be able to surmount this problem? Is eating the state, and in fact the state is now asking the Inspector General of Police to go after a man called Abayomi Hunye That man will be speaking with me tonight. He says it's injustice. He's going to court. He's going to fight it. He's the rightful man for the ticket of the APC in Ogun State. He's fighting Yayi for the flag-bearing activity of the APC in that state. And that gets our attention. After this break, everyone. Join us again.
Malaria? Again?
I'm beginning to think this malaria is spiritual.
Madam Landlady, there is nothing spiritual about this. It is obvious you've not taken the right medication.
Luta contains artemether and lumefantrine, and it's used to treat malaria.
Hey, Oga Luta, thank you for your intervention the other day. I feel very okay now.
Luta is another quality product from Ovid and marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited.
With Luta, malaria is in big trouble.
Excuse me, ma. This is your 100% human hair.
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair?
Since your landlord just increased rent, I saved for this one separately on money point. Ma, you say you save on money point? Yes. This Madam Money Point here, the array of Yadrea, his target savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub is feed savings money points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact.
Jennifer, Money Point save as you transact. Money Point fixed savings and Money Point target savings.
Madam, why did I tell you to contribute to it? Why should they? Come on, you go give your money to Adaku today. You see Money Point account there. You don't go open a savings account. Now Adaku you shoot. I beg everybody inside this my saloon. Oh yeah, bring out your phone and download the Money Point app now. Even you. What are you waiting for?
Download the Money Point banking app now and start saving the bank you can trust.
Money Point, made for your progress.
For years, we believed that world class meant far away. In healthcare, precision is everything. But the distance between you and exceptional care has just disappeared. We don't just practice medicine, we are driven by high standards. At Duchess International Hospital, we've brought the world's most advanced technology and global expertise right to the heart of Lagos, where cutting-edge technology meets the warmth of Nigerian hospitality. Recover in our warm, hospitable wards and dedicated physio units designed for your comfort and recovery. For VIP patients, our exclusive Royal Suites offer comfort and privacy. From complex cardiac procedures to premium wellness checks. No visas, no long flights, just family by your side. Exceptional healthcare isn't only across the ocean anymore. It's here. Duchess International Hospital. World-class care here at home. Experience the new standard.
My name is Austin Azoko Kocha, but you all call me JJ. That's because I was so unstoppable, they named me twice. Those days, there were times when it was difficult for me to perform. But you know what? I never stayed down. I remained unstoppable. No one could stop me, not even malaria when mosquito bites. Now you too can be unstoppable if you use Lonart against malaria.
Now available in a new design. Same Lonart, same unstoppable you.
So much, everyone. Let me take you to Ogun State, where the political crisis within the APC is brewing, and there are those who are worried that the fortune of the party might be going away gradually, because there are a lot. Iyabo Obasanjo, for example, who has left the party, a former member of a sitting member of the House of Reps, who thinks that they are being shortchanged and they were not consulted, and is a governorship aspirant. They are not happy, and there are those who say they will work against the interests of the APC. Those who are thinking that Ladi Adebuti, for example, might be on the advantage here because the party is in crisis. Kandakpo Abiodun, the governor who has now gotten the ticket of the party for the senatorial seat, And the likes of Senator Benga Daniels, who now feel aggrieved, and a few others, Senator Bikunle Amosun is also there. There are blocks within the APC in Ogun State that are unhappy. If Bola Tinubu and the APC wants to retain the APC, as some of the members are warning, something must be done about the internal crisis rocking the APC. Well, at the center of the widening dispute is the governorship aspirant, Abayomi Hunye, who has rejected the outcome that declared Senator Solomon Adeola Yayi as the governorship candidate of the APC. With all of this, the confrontation has now moved beyond the political conversation in the state, because the party now has petitioned the Inspector General of Police, accusing Mr. Hunye of falsely presenting himself as the governorship candidate, allegations that he contests as he pursues his challenge in court. Let's speak with the man that they are looking for. Mr. Abayomi Hunye, his life for
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Are you aware that you have been
Yes, I got that information this evening, that a letter was written from the APC to the IG. But, well, before that, yesterday, I was actually invited by the police, and I have my letters here. And I was invited...
In Ogun State?
In Ogun State,
okay.
For 3rd of September. So
for you to appear?
To appear.
Yeah.
But somebody, a pressman, called me when I was just coming there. They said that they came to my house, and I have to jump the fence. I was not even in my house. I've left houses yesterday. I was not around. They said that they came there. They were just giving all manners of false information here and there, telling people what has not happened. I will show you the letter here. The letter I have from the Commissioner of Police is for me to meet him, to appear before him on the 3rd of September. Then how will I be running?
You know the allegation against you, that
yes.
You are falsely parading yourself as the candidate.
Thank you very
APC.
much. That's where I'm going.
Why would you do that?
Thank you very much. I didn't do that. And I want them to bring a proof. I did not. I called a meeting of my supporters to inform them where we are. That as at today, we are in court over this issue of primaries. Number one, how can I voted at the venue of the primary in my ward, and then I will be allocated 0? I'm also challenging that result that produced Senator Olamide Yayi as the candidate. And as such, and I said, no candidate yet. I did not say.
But the party agreed on a consensus candidate in Yayi, in Solomon Adeola Yayi.
Yes, if they agreed on the consensus arrangement, why was sold to me? It was agreed.
You bought form in
I bought form in
how
Abuja,
much?
50 million naira.
Do you have a receipt for it?
Yes, I have the receipt.
They
for
gave you a receipt?
Yes, I can show you here. I have a receipt. I collect. The question there is,
so did you get the nomination form and the?
Yes, I got the nomination form.
And the expression form.
And I filled everything. I returned it, and I was invited for screening. I came for the screening.
Were you disqualified?
I was cleared for the screening. On the screening list, my number is 52. Yayi's number is 53. So I don't know. The first thing they said yesterday was that I'll be suspended. They said I was suspended on April 7. How can you suspend in April 7? And on April 28, you collected money from me and give me a form. And on May 15, you asked me to come for screening. I did the screening and I was cleared. And May 21, we did the primaries. And then in the pronouncement from the person who said he's announcing the result, he said there are 2 candidates, there are 2 aspirants here. One, Olamide, and myself. He mentioned it. It's here. So how come at what point was I suspended from the party? No letter, no anything.
Just for a moment. Look at the footage right there on the screen.
Yeah.
And I want my producer to get back to the top bar that says Ogun APC crisis. That's a bone of contention. That's a conversation. Just stay with me, everyone, on that matter, because I don't want anyone to misconstrue the context of our conversation. This is largely an internal affairs of your party in Ogun State.
Yes.
This video, where we understand that all members or all aspirants were present.
Yes.
And were you there at that meeting?
I wasn't there.
You were not there. So GNI was there.
I don't know. I think so.
All the former governors were present. Chief Olusegun Osoba was there.
Yes.
Senator Ibikola was there.
They were there.
Senator Daniel Daniel was there. The sitting governor Dakwadero was there. And Solomon Adeola Yayi, who they say is a consensus candidate, is also there.
Yes.
And they raised his hand. Were you aware of that?
I'm aware of that.
So we were not invited.
I was not invited.
That means you were of no consequence then.
I don't know why. I was not invited. And nobody told me. And you see, even this issue of consensus, there are procedure. Are you getting what I'm saying? All the aspirants ought to have been invited to a meeting where it will be explained to them and they will agree. Not only agreeing, they will also put it in black and white that they agree to the consensus before you can announce.
So nobody called you?
Nobody called me.
But your problem did not start today, did it?
It didn't.
Prior to that, they've signaled to you that they don't want you.
Yes.
Why did you go further?
Why did I go further? How can somebody be telling me that I cannot exercise my fundamental human rights?
Was that what they told you?
No, they told me they said I should not contest. I ran with Bikule Amusu. Nobody stopped me from contesting with him. I ran with Dapo Abiodun himself. Oh, are you not saying that I should not run with Yayi? And they told me this last year.
Who told you?
Well, some leaders, I wouldn't want to mention their name. So that
on what basis did they tell you not to run?
They were threatening. They were threatening me that they don't want anybody to contest against Yayi. It must be only Yayi. I said, why must it be only Yayi? Why must it be only Yayi? And to confirm that, I went to The Nation. And I addressed the press there.
The Nation newspaper?
Newspaper, yes. On the 25th of June 2025. That these people are threatening me because I wanted to contest. So it's not something that has just started.
So give us a sense, why do you think you are a subject of attack in court?
The question there is this. Now I will tell you. I think it was later I got to know the reason why they were doing that. They didn't want anybody to run with him. I mean Solomon Olamileko Yayi. And why? It was later I got to know that. When I now insisted, I went further to collect the form. It was there I now realized that they did not want anybody to run with him because automatically in the Electoral Act, it is the aspirants that can take him to court on any issues. So they didn't want anybody to be another aspirant. That's why they were hammering on.
And you are in court.
Yes, I'm in court. Now, and what they wanted to do was, and that was why they allocated 0 to me, so that I would not have locus to challenge him in court.
So on what basis are you now challenging him in court now?
Well, I'm challenging the 0 because I participated. Your crew were there. They saw my crowd. Yes.
Were you able to vote?
I voted. Your crew were there.
So your vote was not counted?
My vote was not counted.
That of your wife was not counted?
Everybody was not counted. And they give me 0.
Your girlfriend's, your children's vote, your family,
exactly.
all of those votes were not counted.
And the funniest thing was that at that time, somebody told me a day earlier that they are going to allocate 0. I was not asking the person. I said, impossible. It's not possible.
So again, you are also causing trouble. You have come publicly and you have questioned Senator Adeola's claim to Ogun West. You challenge him to prove his roots there. But, this is someone who currently represents Ogun West in the Senate. Is it a legitimate eligibility question, or are you using ancestry politics because you lost a party contest?
No. The issue there is this. I know Senator Yayi very well.
And you don't think he comes from Ogun
I don't
West?
think he comes from Ogun West.
Where is he from?
He's from Ekiti. That I know. I know him very well. I know him. I saw back of 2000. Yeah, 2000.
Where in Ekiti?
And he's aware of that. Eh?
Where in Ekiti?
I don't know. I just.
But you say you know him very well.
I know him very well.
You should be able to prove
I don't know.
where
I don't know. I do not know the exact place in Ekiti, but it's not from.
Is he from Aramoko?
I don't know.
Or is he from Ado?
But I just know he's from Ekiti State.
Where in Ekiti is he from?
I don't know. Well, I'm not from Ekiti. I'm not from Ekiti.
So you think that Adeola Yayi cannot be governor of Ogun State?
No. Constitutionally, he has a right. He can be. Whether you are from anywhere, you can.
So why are you playing that
No.
politics?
The question there is this. He came to tell us and start defending that it's from Ogun State. That is why I said that. That is not even an issue. It's not an issue. I'm not taking that to court. I'm not taking that to court. Whether it's from Ogun State or it's from anywhere, it makes no meaning. It makes no meaning. Somebody asked me that question, and that was why I answered them. I said, I know you very well, and I'm very sure, and I know that it's not from. It's not from.
Which ward are you from?
I'm from Tube Ward.
Tube Ward. The leaders in Tube Ward are publicly endorsed Senator Adeola. Even in your home, you are rejected.
Yes. You see the question that who rejected me?
Your leaders.
How? You see the question that thank God your crew were there. Let's show the clips. Let's show the clips. Because you see, the people that were behind me, the people that were behind me, it's over 1,000. The one that are for Yayi, they are very few. That's the truth there. Show it now. You have the clips.
The majority of people from Ipokia in your area, from Tube Ward, in Ipokia area, they are supporting Yayi. They've endorsed. All of them have gone to the governor and they've sworn their allegiance to him.
See, in politics,
yes, you may have your say, but the majority will have their way.
Yes, but I want to tell you the truth that we started from the selections of the party ESCO, we have issues there. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was there any election? There wasn't an election. It was unpicked, and I challenged it. I said we are supposed to have it. If you are going to pick, we should do it normally. They gave us a particular numbers of leaders that should search to take a decision on that. The first meeting we had, we were not able to arrive at a point. So they went ahead and did it in the secret. We were not there. And then we wrote against that. That one is even there. We wrote against it. That list wasn't our
But the
agreement.
likes of GNI were
from different local governments.
No, from the likes of GNI where Brega Isiaka is a sitting member of the House. They appeal to them.
The question
they
you are
step down.
the issue there is this, because they know I was bent on contesting, and it all started from the primaries, from the leaders of the party, which is the ESCO. Are you guys what? Because I have made up my mind that I'm going to contest, no matter what happened. That it is better.
But you know you are going to lose.
It doesn't matter.
In the 236 wards.
Yes.
Do you have agents in all?
Everywhere.
Do you have the word by word results?
I have them.
And what were the results?
You see, what actually happened?
Did you win in the result copies that you have?
Listen, I will explain to you. They disturbed my people. They wounded some of them. They took them to police station.
You have evidence of
Yes, evidence. They took them to even the state command. It's there. They deprived them. They tore their paper. They tore everything. They drove them out.
Do you have records?
I have records.
Do you have the results word by word?
No. Because they refused to pick our record.
In the 236.
They drove all my people away. It's in the state command. I went to go and bail them there.
You say you are in court,
yes.
Yeah. What exactly are you asking the federal?
Okay, thank you very much. Number one. It's not. I don't know how we can have an open elections that will be zero will be accorded to my name. So I'm contesting that result. Did I have a right to that?
Okay.
That even if it is one, I should have recorded my one.
I almost mentioned girlfriend earlier. Yes, at least if you don't have girlfriend, you have boyfriend.
I have my wife,
your wife,
I have my children, everybody there. And you came.
And all of them.
This channel
none of them.
Yes.
Yeah. None of them.
This channel came to cover it. They saw that of the line of Yayi is there. At my own. In thousands. Listen to me.
Governor Dakwabiodu said that the process was peaceful.
That's what is going to say. Let me tell you something.
Do you have a problem with Governor Dakwabiodu?
Well, I don't have any personal problem with him. But you see, it's like he was the one who came to announce to us that there's a consensus. And if I'm not going against the consensus, it's like I'm working against.
So he never consulted you?
He never consulted.
Did you ever call him?
I didn't call him. Why? I don't need to call him.
He's your leader?
He's my leader. He's my leader. He's my friend. He's my everything. Yeah, so that's not the issue there. The truth there is this.
Why are you unwanted?
Wanted? How?
You are unwanted.
Well, because I insisted that the truth must prevail. If there must be anything, there must be fairness to it. But there must be true primaries. If you are sure, if you are sure that it's popular, why are you people avoiding?
I understand that Benga Daniel is not happy.
Yes.
If people are not happy.
Yes.
Even GNI.
Why the number of people are not happy? Even in his cabinet, 70% of them are not going to vote for Yayi.
In Dapo Abiodun?
Yes. You see, the question there is this. What I'm doing now, they may not know that. What I'm doing now is to bail out this party from the crisis. I'm taking a very high risk.
So those who are saying on the ground that Ladi is going to beat Yayi before 12 o'clock, and I've heard some of the opposition that they say, with what is happening in your party.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And I'm not in support of that. I'm fighting for this party. I suffer for this party. I suffer for this party. During the days of PDP, I was locked up. I was locked up. Deepa Dina was locked up. The people are Musu, 3 of us. We were fighting for progressive. So I have been on this issue for the past 20 years.
So if
it's not about Yayi. It's not about Yayi. What we are saying
is different political blocks are unhappy.
Yes.
If you go into the election,
I don't know. They want to impose on us. The question is, we are saying
does Bola Tinubu and the APC have a chance if your party go divided like
we are going to feel it's our father. We are going to no matter what comes, what this is just for a while to be resolved. But the truth there is this. Let me tell you something. How can some people suffer for something, and those people that was intimidating them, now came through the back door to the party and took away the party, and you think we'll be happy?
That's your grievance.
Yes. How can that be possible? Majority of the people that are talking today, they were in PDP, when we were in progressive, we were in ADAC. We fought for our own. We fought for this party to be alive.
All of a sudden they came.
They came. I said they want to join the party. When they joining the party now, they took. It would have been better if it had to be election. I will not gladly that I lost.
So what happened was selection.
Selection.
And you're not happy
I'm not happy with it.
And you fight it to the end.
Yes, and I said I'm going to fight it to the end. Starting from the
what if the father of the party, Chief Olusegun Osuba, intervened? If he calls you tonight, would you?
It's my father, but he knows I'm aggrieved because you can't continue. Yes, in 2003, they have been begging me. Please hold on. Please hold on. Let Baba come and tell the whole world how many times he has begged me. He has begged me more than 4 times. And I told him last election, I said, I will not take any beg from you again. If I have honored the leaders, even Dapo Abiodun said that day, it's unfortunate, I'm not aware of this. He said, I'm not aware of this.
So if Dapo Abiodun begs you, will you concede?
It's not about somebody begging me at this point. Let me tell you something, it's not about begging. It's about doing what is right.
But you know the danger of what you are doing to the ambition of Yayi.
What is danger? I am saying that
it might jeopardize the chances of Yayi.
I am saying that
on being on the ticket.
I am saying that the court should declare me winner. But I'm not saying that I'm the candidate. I've not said I'm the candidate. I've never at any point. That's my prayer to the court.
And you insist on that?
I insist on it.
How do you think this can be resolved?
Resolve? Resolution?
Mm-hmm.
It is the court. Let there be judgment from the court. Whatever
you just want justice.
I want justice. I'm okay.
All right.
No. Okay, look at it. Yesterday they said I've been suspended.
We are totally out of time.
I'm sorry, sir. They said I've been suspended for the party. And they suspended me from April 7. And then you collected money from April 28. By April 15, you called me for screening. By May 15, by May 21, I went for the primaries. Nobody gave me a letter. No letter, no anything. And then you are not bringing that now.
Mr. Abayomi, thank you so much. I wish you the very best in your seeking for justice.
Thank you very much.
Justice is good for our society. That's the bedrock. Thank you so much indeed. I appreciate it. Abayomi is an Ogun APC governorship aspirant who is aggrieved. And that's how we leave it tonight. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm Sean Wakimale. God bless Nigeria.